And hello, everyone. This is No Shots Fired Podcast, episode 43, hashtag Lime Time. And we've got two extremely special guests with us today. The one, the only, he's still alive, Madamus himself, in the flesh, broadcasting straight from wherever Junkblade is. I don't think we give out that location. And also, here to provide support to Madamus, I guess. Jay
Deep
Money.
in the pod bunker.
Deep in the pod bunker.
Coming
And,
fast.
honestly, after having those two here, who even gives a shit who the rest of us are? So let's to the topics we got. We're going to be talking about Divinity Sin, both of them, because we've been playing both of them. Counterstrike.
Where do I need to move to get centered here? Alright. I think this way.
I kind of like the off-center look, which brings us straight to the Zelda Super Metroid Rando tournament that I believe Doc will be talking about, because I didn't do that. I doubt that's Madamus's thing. We're going to throw in a
Could be.
D&D update, and finally the topic du jour, video game bosses. What's up with that? It kind of threw me up. Sorry.
What's up with that?
What's up with
I'm
that?
gonna need one more take on that line read. We'll get it in editing and go.
And finally, the topic du jour, video game bosses. What's up with that?
There we are.
So, that'll lead to a ton of questions, so we're going to reserve 45 of our 60 minutes for questions. So, we got a tight window here. Let's jump right in. Well, first of all, let's have Jay Money and Madamus introduce themselves, talk about what they've been doing, what they've been up to, where they've been.
I'm Madamus. I've been doing nothing. Been nowhere, and here I am.
Excellent. No excuse for not streaming and God knows how long. Excellent.
Jay Money, what do you got?
Very similar. I'm Jay Money. I've been actively avoiding doing this podcast. And today just somehow failed at my simple job of not being here.
At least it was a concerted effort. I respect the effort.
Yep,
Oh.
now I'm here.
Oh, this is interesting. I'm getting an update. Apparently, we got some important infographics that we wanted to share with the audience before we get started here. Doc, are you receiving this transmission?
I received a packet, marked top secret, and I'm not sure who sent it, but I was told the mystery sender would be on the podcast this evening. So if they're ready to step forward and share this data that's recently come to light, I think the public would really like to know.
I'm confused.
I can't wait to see this.
Are we bringing in this?
Okay, all right. I think I've done the decryption, and we're ready to view.
All right, it's
Okay, really startling stuff. Boy, who wants to take us through this here?
all right.
Oh, wow.
Oh man.
Guys, I have a confession. I've been doing a lot of research. That's why I haven't been around. And I've come across some startling numbers.
Pouring over the sacred texts.
Well, I like as well that we have a
18
projection for the future.
Yes. I've done a future count. Number of letters in the name Chad, 4 since 1820. There's no real data before then. And then I've gone ahead and done some projection. I projected to still be 4 letters by the year 2040.
That is. Where do you even? I mean, what do you even do with that type of information?
Startling stuff.
I'm always watching my back. That's why it's so dark in here.
Jay Money, I think for this sin you've inflicted upon us, you're going to have to pray like an entire rosary at least.
At least. I don't know what
Maybe 2.
That's the best thing I've ever seen. Ever.
Man, wow.
Yeah, so we'll try to continue, but definitely something to think on.
Yeah, clear your minds. Clear your minds.
Which perfect segue into Divinity Original Sin, which is how do you describe that game, Caleb? An RPG? Just an RPG?
It's the one I'm playing is actually, I wouldn't describe it as a RPG. It's more like a turn-based strategy game, actually. More like
like turn-based.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
It's like a multiplayer classic computer RPG. At least the first one, I think, is how I would have described that from what I've played of it.
I have not played the first one. I can only go by what the second one is like.
Or maybe kind of like, I guess it controls a little bit like Diablo, kind of. Alan, would you agree with that? Like you're kind of clicking around, running around, doing combat, but you
are
together, and it's not a
You are. It is very Diablo-like until you get into combat, and then it's turn-based. Oh, that's my giant.
Okay, yeah, that's the way the second one is as well.
Although, if you can run ahead from your partner if you want, do all the dialogue yourself, or if you're doing the dialogue together. Usually there's like a decision point at the end, and you can disagree on it. If you disagree, you play rock, paper, scissors against each other to choose your path, which is
I like that.
That is good.
Yeah,
you can also hide under a bush whenever you want, so it's pretty good.
The sneaking system, that's the stealth system.
That is good.
It sounds good.
I haven't actually used the sneaking system on my playthrough of Original Sin 2 yet. The first character I decided to play with is Losa, I think her name is. She's basically a bard who apparently is possessed by a demon.
Not great.
We made our own characters. Although we rescued some girl that we're going to use as a meat shield at some point.
Oh, we're talking about that game?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm playing through with any canon characters that interest me before making my own.
Oh.
Which is about 4 of them.
How many characters are there?
8.
Okay.
Are there really? I guess we didn't even look. Did we?
No, we just went straight to making our own people.
Yeah, we had no interest unless it was actually
Exactly. That is exactly the case.
Okay.
If I can't go on the adventure, I don't care.
Fair.
I want to hear, Justin, have you been playing Red Dead still?
Yeah, a little bit. It's slowed down for me. Game's kind of a little slow. People love it. I'm not seeing it, you know.
It's not as universal as I thought it would be being a Rockstar game. I've been quite a few people share your general feeling.
Usually I love it.
There's I've no desire to ever play it. It's just watching Justin play it. It was kind of like watching The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, honestly. Almost precisely like that.
I love that movie.
Do you?
I don't know if
presumably
I love it,
another Western.
I fall asleep a lot to it.
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs is it's hot right now. Got a couple Oscar nods.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Everyone, yeah. Well, J Money, about 30 minutes ago, you said you weren't sure if you loved it. Now you love it. Now you're back to it. Everybody's all over the place.
Well, that's how it just depends on the mood I'm in. Who is Matthew McConaughey, Chad? That's amazing.
Probably just a random fan of ours.
I do not play Duke Nukem. I don't know about the rest of the cast here, but
no, never played.
Duke Nukem is the only game I play.
I have never played a Duke Nukem game.
Justin, did you make a new Twitch account? Because this sounds like something you would do.
Sure did.
I hate you so much. Yeah,
that's a great name.
That's really good.
That is actually a good name.
I like that we have a very Chad-focused podcast.
Well, I mean, we don't get them on here much, so...
Which makes no sense, because we don't have anyone here named Chad.
Right,
That's true. Who could that be? We don't know.
To finish my little summary of Divinity Original Sin 2, I haven't gotten very far into the main plot yet, since I just started playing today. But the general gist of what's going on is that the son of the Divine has started capturing anyone who uses what's called source magic and is trying to cure them, which is actually quite a fair number of people. He's managed to make collars that shut off source magic, but the most dangerous person who can use it managed to just get rid of their collar anyway, and then blow up the ship that we were all being transported onto the prison island of Fort Greyjoy. We also got attacked by a kraken. And
Greyjoy, like from the Game of Thrones?
No, we're not allowed to mention that property here.
Same one.
Maybe not Greyjoy. I think it Joy something.
Grey Ploy.
What about Prison Joy? Prison Joy would be a pretty cool name.
No one enjoys prison.
Especially for a prison island.
That's the delicious
The irony.
turn, J-Money.
Yeah.
It's just called Fort Joy. I was just getting my wires crossed.
I think I was closest.
So you ended up at the fort anyway, despite, your ship being on fire and then destroyed by a kraken. And you are going around the fort, talking to people, doing little side quests, and trying to figure out a way to get out of here. And what I've noticed so far is, for the most part, you don't have to do things in any particular order. Like, there's a quest where I'm supposed to find this guy and get him reported to the main guy who runs the prison for stealing crates of supplies. But because of one of my followers, I've actually already killed him, but I can still complete the quest, apparently. So the game is good at adapting to whatever it is whatever path you decide to take in whatever order, which is actually kind of refreshing, considering some games I've played where if you don't do things in the exact right sequence, you're just screwed.
It breaks.
Right.
And of course, those games also then don't tell you anything about what the correct sequence is, so you're just screwed.
What's your goal? What's the goal of the game?
Right now, it's just get off the prison island. And then beyond that, it varies depending on your character. So,
I believe it's to commit the original sin, right?
You are right.
If I'm wrong, from the title of the game.
We're looking for an apple.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what in ours. That's me and you. Keep in mind, we're playing the original, and that's.
Can you play online together?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
that's cool.
J-Money. Yeah, J-Money and I do.
I found it's a lot of reading.
The character who I'm playing, their goal is to get this demon entity out of them. And then each of the other 7 characters has their own personal goal.
Hold on. Can we get this? We need to block this Jake Bow. Really is come in and is kind of
toxic.
Yeah, just very toxic.
Talking trash. Already.
Yeah, someone. Yeah, can we get the mods on that? Please?
We are not popular enough to be banning anybody. So
not yet.
Unless I start seeing some hardcore stuff, he stays.
I can't make him a mod. I was gonna make him a mod because I like his style, but
you didn't ban himself.
I don't have that permission.
As a mod, can you ban yourself?
That's the real question.
I can't risk it.
Can you?
I can't risk it. I could mod him.
Okay, we'll have him test out whether or not he can
so,
ban himself.
Are you guys anticipating playing a good deal more of Divinity Original Sins?
I am anticipating playing a good deal more of this, yes.
We'll probably have to, because another update for Counterstrike is J-Money. Let's tell him what happened during our last, about an hour ago, I guess.
Well, 7 days ago, I got
I can't believe
a 7-day ban.
Did you even complete one game? Did you guys finish one game?
Don't spoil it.
You didn't. Didn't even finish a game. Okay.
So me and Valen go to play today, and I'm like, I think I should be done around here. I get on. I have 1 minute left. All right.
1 minute left.
That should have been your hint not to test it.
That's awesome.
So I went on, played a couple games. You know, they go about the standard. We get a couple people to quit. One guy kind of gets to me. Playing the game, going great. We're going like 15 to like 2 in our favor. Like last round, I just like am up to here with this guy, so I dome him in the head. Slammed with another 7-day ban. So
Awesome. Just great.
Well, he was killing me because I was going around trying to hug the other team.
Yes, but okay. The problem is you can't possibly have not known this would happen because you had been not banned for like 15 minutes.
But here's the thing: is they didn't even warn me.
They didn't warn.
Yeah, the 7 days previous were your warning, J Money.
That makes no sense.
They assumed you didn't have the memory of a goldfish.
Usually there's like little letters in the bottom and they're red, and they're like, "Don't do this."
Exactly.
And
that's how we know not to do those things.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Can you only get banned from actually, like, betraying them?
Sure, yeah.
Well, no.
No, you can get banned for voting too many people off for some reason.
Oh yeah, I did that too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
You get banned for that?
We've plumbed the depths of ways to get banned, Manimus. What?
Democracy in that. It's
Related question, why don't you ever play with us anymore?
I still haven't set up my rig here.
I don't...
I need to.
It's like a keyboard and a mouse.
I know, it's a long... I mean, it's a lot of work there.
Well, he's got to borrow Junkblade's mouse.
Okay, okay, real
I
quick.
need to go buy a mouse.
Let's set up a Patreon here to get these two jokers a second gosh dang mouse.
I think there's one in my car somewhere.
I had one, and it might be the one in your car then, because I know I had a second one.
I've probably got like 6. Do I need to
get to this Joker?
Do I need to mail you one?
Wait, can we get the mods on? We have a logo douche in the chat room. Get the mods on that.
He's just looking for medical care. I'm not gonna begrudge him that. If you guys need a mouse, I can mail you a mouse.
I'll
go get one.
And I have 2 in the backpack I use to transport my laptop around. Just in case while I'm wandering the world.
Did you hear that, guys? Valen is more prepared than both of you combined.
I'm never prepared.
Yeah, so great. So I was looking forward to maybe a round of Counterstrike after this, but...
Oh, we can.
No, we still can. We got...
I'm always there in spirit.
So I might need some sort of access code.
Yeah, I got another email. You just need to let me know.
We don't need we don't need to discuss the dark web means we use to get J Money back on the grid. Online here. We'll take that off.
Web.
We'll take that offline. They don't need
The
to.
logo douche says he'll Venmo you a mouse.
Excellent. See, we're making connections.
Can we start a Venmo program only for mouses?
Chad, the
Then mouse, right?
It's
Mouse
mice.
Mice-mo.
Now, Jumpblade, you're ready to play Counter-Strike. So when are we going to get a little Jumpblade?
Have you ever played?
CS action.
We're going to play together sometime between Never and the Heat Death of the Universe.
But you're ready to go. You're ready to go.
Not for you?
I'm ready to go sometime.
Excellent.
I don't know if tonight will be that sometime, but sometime.
That's fair.
Oh, you guys ready to go? We're done?
We are not even halfway through our topic list, J Money. You sit back.
No, we're not.
And enjoy yourself.
With that, do we want to move on to the Zelda / Super Metroid Rando?
I think we were really getting somewhere, though. I think we were making a lot of progress with that.
Yeah.
But we'll move on.
Venmo? Wait.
What?
Just with it in general. Just
progress.
All of it. Just
Okay.
We're moving forward.
So, I've talked about the Link to the Past randomizer quite a bit on this program. and I think I've mentioned this one as well, but I finally started to like watch it a little bit and actually get to the point where I can understand a bit of it. And this is the Link to the Past / Super Metroid combo randomizer, which is the items are mixed between both games, and certain transitions will take you from Link to the Past to Super Metroid and back.
Oh, okay, so it's not just Link can randomly get the ice beam.
Link can get the ice beam, but he can't use it. That just goes into Super Metroid when you transition back to Super Metroid, and the goal is you have to beat both Ganon and Mother Brain.
Okay.
What type of ice beam is this? Who manufactures the ice beam?
The Chozo. Nice try, J Money.
Oh.
Moving on.
Well, they both instantly knew that.
But it's oh, we got a follower. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I think we got another one coming too. I'm excited. Anonymous. Cool.
Anonymous.
I think my follower thing is out of date, so that's not great on my part.
Wait, isn't that one organization? Are we about to get shut down?
No. Nope.
Hacked.
Oh no.
Hey,
but
I
it's
found my Chad chart.
Yes.
They're shutting me down.
But it's the finals right now.
Close to the Chad chart.
And it's watching how good these guys are at both games is crazy. Not only like good at like traversing them and playing them, but also like knowing where to go, where you have to go. Like I've barely gotten like I can watch Zelda Randomizer and kind of know what's going on, but to add Super Metroid on top of that is bananas. So
They do both. I'm confused.
yeah, so both games. So like if you walk in the house by Lake Hylia in Link to the Past, you transition to Super Metroid.
Oh,
And then if you go through some other room in Super Metroid, you're back in Link to the Past on Death Mountain.
it's working because they
And-
got Jack Baugh.
There you go. But yeah. So and you have to beat both games to finish. So it's just
Interesting.
Wait, I want to see something.
so head over to Twitch channel Speed Gaming if you want to check that out. I recommend it. But I think we got a little follow action here happening.
Does that show up still?
I get the email before the alert shows up.
Oh.
So you know what's gonna happen.
Yes. It's like I'm watching the basketball game on the other side of the bar.
Oh, this just in.
That's just in. But that's very cool. So do we want to go to our topic, Fallon? Is that right? Or
Yes. Just one more time because I'm curious and I wasn't paying as much attention as I should have near the end. How do you watch this if you want to watch this?
the Twitch channel Speed Gaming, and they think they have like 4 or 5 different Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3, but like the finals will be on Speed Gaming proper. There's also a YouTube channel where they post stuff. NS Fallon is no longer firing shots. Thank you, NSF Fallon, wherever you are. But yeah, it's really good. But and they beat both games like the runs I've seen like 2.5 hours or so. Which is just
That's an insane low amount of time to beat both games. That doesn't even make sense.
Is there a slow gaming podcast?
Yeah, this one.
It's ours.
Okay, gotcha.
This one. I'm still like an hour and a half into Undertale, Madamos, and I started that 3 months ago. So
well, while we've got Jake and Logan, let's jump into the topic of the night: video game bosses. What's up with that? The actual thing that should have come after that call was video game bosses. Which ones do you like, dislike? It's just a discussion of
what are you looking for in a game's final encounter?
I got one.
All right.
Okay.
I got one. Yoshi Island. At the very end, what do you have to launch? You have to launch something at humongous Bowser.
You have to launch humongous eggs at
That's
humongous Bowser.
The whole game is egg throwing.
Yeah, I like. Bowser specifically though, when he's huge and coming at you. That was a good one.
Okay.
I
Solid.
like the backstory because I never knew that Yoshi rescued Baby Mario.
How did he get humongous though? You know what I mean? Did anyone ever bother asking?
Kamek sprinkled the magic on him, just like every other boss in that game, J Money.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I forgot all about this bad guy.
Yeah, I
That is
don't
epic.
remember anything.
Like he goes, "Bah, bah, 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 bah," and then goes, "Boo, boo, boo, boo." It's like rainbow sparkles, and everything gets big.
Time out.
Like it's
He's the real bad guy.
Why didn't we just stop her? She's the one that was causing all the issues.
Yeah,
she's on a broomstick, guys. Good luck.
Oh, witch. What else?
Yeah, she is a witch. Why doesn't she just turn you into a newt?
Does anyone remember which ones we talked about last time?
Nope.
I remember I talked
Sephiroth.
about Fable, and yes, we talked about Sephiroth.
Yes, we did talk about Final Fantasy.
So we're not going to cover those again.
Who'd you... Jack of Blades?
No, that was my example of a good boss, and then the boss in the second one was terrible because it's literally just a floating psychic rock.
Fair enough.
Floaty rock.
Okay, bad boss. Final Fantasy X. What's his face? Because the music is just the worst thing, and the battle takes so long, and it's just the worst, like, faux metal song with like, and it's just
I haven't seen it, but
couple that with
I've
that
not played
stupid
it.
ending
Not
where
played
you're like a thought experiment and you disappear as the main character, and it's just like, god damn it.
What game was
Ooh.
that?
Final Fantasy
Sounds
X.
good.
Oh,
A lot of
really?
people hate it, yeah, because you're just like, it's one of those you're
Jack-
not real situations.
Jack Ball actually brought up what I was about to bring up. I enjoyed pretty much every single boss fight in Resident Evil 4.
I don't remember on Resident Evil 4. I remember liking it, but I can't remember, like, who.
Game's too scary for me.
Salazar
The little
was
dude?
the little dude who turns into the
Yeah.
weird giant plant thing.
Yeah, I liked.
I need to look him up.
You'll recognize him once you see him.
Have you
I
guys
remember liking that game.
seen the video? So they just released Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Sorry.
Apparently there's an enemy called Mr. X in Resident Evil 2. You guys know about this? You hear about this?
No.
All right.
You're doing a stand routine
Someone modded the game so that every time Mr. X got close to you, DMX started playing. And it's pretty much the greatest. Like, and it would be like if he was like 2 hallways away, it would be like faint DMX, and it would get louder as he got closer. Like, it's. I'm gonna have to send you the video. It's
Going, get you.
yes, that song.
It's gonna give it to you.
Yes, it is so good.
That's kind of amazing.
It's real good. So that's my Resident Evil contribution.
So, are there any bosses you really, really hated fighting, Matimos?
I'm trying to think. I'm gonna need a moment.
Alright. Any suggestions from you guys on bosses that you really did not care for?
So okay, I played this game where I went to college for 5 years, and then
Oh, we're going dark. Okay, here we go.
I'm done.
Tell you what, gang, that extra semester, avoid the extra semester if you can. Okay? Because scholarships don't, like, take into account the extra semester, and it hurts.
So that's. I can't. I'm done. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get back to somebody. Somebody just do any.
Oh, I got one. J Money and I recently played through Halo 2 and 3, and then we watched on YouTube all of the cinematics or the cutscenes for 4 and 5.
Not all of them together. We started at 1.
Yeah, and it took several hours, and
Like 4 hours.
yeah, 4 hours.
Okay.
At some point, Cortana becomes like a bad guy, and it's the most cringy, just horror. I hated it. It made me really like want to write a letter to whoever made the new Halos and say that they ruined the frickin' series for me. It was just horrible.
Well,
Horrible.
on the topic of series that I'm sure have been ruined for you, did you know that they're coming out with a Gears of War 5?
I did not know that.
They're on 5.
They're on 5.
Well, they're on
And
more than 5 because they did Judgment and whatever. But yeah,
it was the comment that I read in like the little thing talking about the games that were coming out this year. Gears of War 5 being one of them, is that they're really focusing on the story this time. And that just made me laugh, because the 5th entry in a franchise is not the time to do that, guys.
Valen and I beat the first game and didn't know we had
so
beaten it until the credits
Yeah.
rolled. Because we were like, we were like, okay, I bet the story's going to start anytime soon. Oh, it's over.
Oh,
Like, I hated that.
You shot some dude on a train that we didn't know the name of, and that apparently was the big bad of the game.
Wow. That sounds so underwhelming.
I was upset because they could make that one thing. There's that little robot thing that would help you sometimes. They could make him invisible. But why didn't they use that technology to make us invisible? Why couldn't we just be, like, always invisible? Anyone?
I
Well
don't
then,
know.
how could you know you weren't peeing on somebody? Huh?
Oh,
It's fine.
Didn't think about that, did you?
Okay. Wait. Hey, Money, you need to say this out loud, this last comment.
what? Oh, no.
Yeah, you need to
Matimo
read
said
that.
it best. He's like, you think if you spent 5 hours watching Halo cutscenes, you'd know more about Halo, but you just don't.
In fact, you learn less.
No, if you want to dive into the Halo lore, you gotta go to the books. You know, you gotta go to the books. That's how it goes.
The ancient archives.
I'm curious about Jake Bod. I was gonna say Jake Bod W. That was really
Jack Baugh.
Jack Sparrow Baugh.
Yep.
Johnny Depp is in our chat. All right, stay calm, everyone.
Hey Johnny, why don't you tighten it the fuck up, bud?
Yeah, really, man. really losing it, aren't you? How were you a villain at the end of your own Minecraft? Okay, that's an interesting. You realize that the only.
You've delved
Well,
too
obviously-
greedily and too deep. What happens? I think we know what happens.
Obviously, he was the bad guy, the real bad guy the entire time.
Classic.
M. Night Shyamalan, you know who was not a very good bad guy? The Village. Whoever was in charge of that was a bad villain in The Village.
I'm convinced that any good movie M. Night Shyamalan makes is just a fluke at this point.
The statistics, if you make enough, one's bound to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
I think any good movie's a fluke, right?
For
I mean, the
sure,
number of things
yeah.
that have to go right for a movie to be like good, it's bananas.
I suppose that's fair.
And in the movie making process is, from what I have read about and studied about, it's complete nonsense. It's amazing that anything ever gets made and isn't completely terrible. Is actually the most incredible takeaway I have.
The fact that it just doesn't set itself on fire when you put it in the reel-to-reel, which I'm sure they still do.
It's funny. I was at this. I go to this writers group meeting every month, and one of these guys who is an all the guys who talk there are like successful. There's this one guy. What's his name? Gee, Money, I told you about it. Something Kleins. He's a science
Calvin.
fiction writer. Calvin and Hobbes Kleins. Yeah, that's him.
Yep.
He's on the anyway. He has like a New York Times bestseller, Paradox Bound. If you want to read up some science fiction, but this other guy there is he used to write screenplays, and he talked about making a movie is like if you get 50 people and none of them speak the same language, and then you try to build a skyscraper with them in 30 days. That's like making a movie,
The
basically.
Tower of Babel.
What kind of
Yes.
skyscraper? Where's the skyscraper located?
See, you would be perfect for the movie set. Let's get you out to LA with me, J.
I'm in.
And-
I'll be right there.
All right, I think we've explored fully the video game bosses. Anyone else have any more bosses?
Did I talk about Ocarina of Time last time? It feels like something I would have brought up.
Never did.
I don't think you did, actually.
Okay.
No specific
Talk about
bosses,
what?
anyway.
Oh.
Just like one, just one that
I lost you
really,
guys.
just the atmosphere as a kid. You know, you're walking up that tower with the organ music playing, and then he hovers, and you play back and forth with the energy ball, and then you escape the tower, and it turns out he turns into the pig guy, and it's just like, and like the music was very well done, and just kind of that final moment where you get the Master Sword back. Really, for an N64 game, at least in my brain and imagination, extremely cinematic, and just an epic way to end that tale for me. So that's probably one of my favorites.
I don't remember specifics or names, but I remember some of the battles. And,
Wait, time out. Time out. I'm excited to hear this story because you started with I don't remember specifics or names.
That's it. No, some of the bosses in Final Fantasy Tactics, I really, really enjoy it. Because you think you beat them, and then they turn into some horrible beast.
Yeah.
It was fun stuff.
And plus, we never had a competent party because we were always challenging ourselves.
Yeah. 6 squires or whatever.
Exactly.
The one guy whose name I specifically remember, I don't know how to pronounce it, Delita, Delita, D-E-L-I-T-A.
Spoiler alert, real asshole.
I'm sure you couldn't tell immediately by the name.
Just a real piece of work.
Well, in all fairness, I guess he had a good reason, but then he kind of went off the rails. Also, I think you die at the end of that one.
It's a little unclear because, like, someone sees you and a few of your.
I know.
It's one of those. They deliberately leave it open so that you can.
You're definitely.
Rewind
We're on an underworld ship in an alternate dimension that when we kill the bad guy, like, explodes. I don't think we made it out of that one.
You know what they say. You know what they say. If you don't see the body, they aren't dead, and sometimes not even then.
There were some good ones in Ogre Battle too. I really liked a lot of the
Ogre Battle.
Any named character in Ogre Battle was a good boss fight.
Yeah.
And on the topic of Ocarina of Time, before we leave this topic, unless people have other things they specifically would like to add, my favorite stages and bosses in those stages are probably still the area beneath the well and the Shadow Temple. And it's because of just how creepy, unsettling, and
I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Yeah, they almost don't even fit in the game because of how much creepier they are than everything else. And when you look into the backgrounds, they are extremely not kid-friendly.
No, super creepy.
The Forest Temple is kind of similar, except you get no answers whatsoever about anything inside it.
Ghosts.
There's ghosts.
Ghosts doing stuff.
And for some reason, there's a mansion in the middle of Lost Woods.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a video to send you, Junkblade, that you should watch, even though Valen immediately balked at it being unholy 30 minutes long.
Who's got that kind of time?
You have that kind of time. I don't want to hear it.
30 minutes. If you guys see a 30-minute video...
We are 40 minutes into this podcast. We hope people will consume.
Wow, only 40?
Yes.
See, look, J-Money and Junkblade are so far gone at this point. They can't even...
That's why I'm talking to Junkblade. I'm not bothering with those two.
Yeah, I thought we were at least 5 minutes more into this than that.
Alright, we're crushing on time. Let's go straight into the D&D update.
Alright, so, gonna mention just a few things really quick from last time. That we're taking one campaign out of the rotation, the Cannibal Elf campaign, as you guys know it by. Because the Dungeon Master has some things going on in his life right now, and he needs to not focus on D&D as much. And we're adding 2 games into the rotation for a grand total of 4. My campaign, which we are calling the Lords of Grief. The Japanese mythology campaign, which is called Empire of the Sun, a D20 modern campaign, which is D&D in the modern day, basically, and a Lord of the Rings campaign.
That all sounds really cool.
And I do have an answer to your question from last week about the two guardians last time, about the two guardians of the tomb, Valen. Basically, the terms of their guardianship had ended, and the only reason either
what
of
were
them
the terms of the guardianship?
That part we didn't cover, because I didn't really figure that was important, because, like, at the very first part, when they introduced themselves, like, well, our terms as guardians are supposed to be over, but because the tomb did get raided again, one of them had to stay. Otherwise, they were supposed to both be able to go out into the overworld again. And if we didn't choose, then they were both going to go out there anyway, which was not a situation we wanted.
I overheard some people at the gym I go to talking about switched out security firms to patrol the parking lot, so I assume it's a similar situation.
Yes.
Fair enough. Anyway, on to the update from my campaign, which we shall be doing this Saturday, and then I think the D20 Modern campaign is the next Saturday. Right now, we're not doing any particular module. We've gotten out of Red Hand of Doom and are now focusing mainly on, like, personal goals of the PCs. The half-red dragon, fighter, alchemist, paladin,
a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
is planning on killing his dad, because his dad is a great worm half-fiend red dragon named Ashardalon, who is trying to become a deity.
Just can't stand to have his father have some success, huh?
Nope.
Harsh.
Harsh indeed.
People in their twilight years need to have goals. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Keeps the mind sharp.
Exactly. Although, funnily enough, D&D, because of the way the rules work, your mind actually gets sharper as you get older, regardless of what race you are.
Ah, fantasy life.
Indeed. The leader of the party, the dwarf samurai, who the rest of the party pretty much affectionately refers to as Dwarf Dad, has a lot of different personal goals and subplots that need to be resolved, because he had most stuff in his background, and it led to the most goals for his character. The first thing is that he is trying to get over his bigotry towards hobgoblins. Hobgoblins specifically. Other types of goblins are okay.
It's just like a learning course he has to go. What is that even? He has to get into a fight and not kill one? What's the...
He's
a phase.
He has to start interacting with them and be more civil towards them.
Boy, this sounds like a blast to roll
towards those bloody hobgoblins. Hell,
did he? What did he throw a hobgoblin out of a Starbucks or something? Is that what happened?
Actually, hobgoblins killed a bunch of members of his clan and then stole and destroyed one of their most treasured relics.
Okay, but were they asking for it? A little bit? Maybe he needs to go on a quest to figure out if they were asking for it. Parading that relic around a bit too much, I don't know.
Unfortunately, the gods have decreed that he has to actually get over his bigotry towards them rather than go out and see if they were asking for it. Largely because I find that to be a more interesting option.
Okay, so he doesn't want to do it. He's being forced to by outside societal forces. I get it.
Well, the player does want to do it, and he wants to do it at least a little bit. Because I work with what my players and their characters actually want out of the campaign.
Corporate has mandated some diversity training, it sounds like.
Exactly. He's working on becoming a dwarf lord, which most of his family is in favor of, but his sister really doesn't want to have happen because it would basically overshadow all of her glory. So the next session we're going to be dealing with the assassin that she sent after him. And assassins are okay in dwarf society as long as you do it the correct way, which means you basically have to hire another dwarf to kill a dwarf.
What? Wait.
Well, otherwise, if you hire specifically a dwarf to kill another dwarf, then it is basically okay by dwarf society. You can even put it on public records, and nobody will really look at you too weirdly. But if you hire anything else, you can't put it on public records, and it's considered a huge mark of dishonor for both you and the person you were trying to kill.
Okay, I don't like to judge, but that's the dumbest goddamn thing I have ever heard a society agree to do. All right, well, you can kill somebody as long as you, and you can put it, you can put it in the town bulletin board, but just make sure it was someone of the same, height and reach, so it was a fair fight. I don't need any, 7 foot, 8 foot wingspan people coming in here chopping heads without even having a danger of a reprisal.
Do people go to like town hall and they read like the to be killed list, or are you
like? Is there is this a time honored career of killer, but only of dwarves? Like
isn't that worse actually than?
I think these dwarves were asking for it. I'm not.
No,
my sympathy is gone. Get that relic away from them. Who knows what they were trying to do with that thing? Oh man.
So part of the dwarf becoming a dwarf lord is dwarves are completely fine with polygamy. It is perfectly fine in their society.
Okay.
And it is also weird for a dwarf to not have at least one husband, regardless of their gender.
Who made this dwarf? What middle schooler made this dwarf society in their free period between band and
where
social studies?
Where is your dwarf lore coming from?
This is things that the player himself decided on, and I am perfectly okay.
Yeah, okay, great, thank you. Is this elf cannibal guy? Is this
no?
Oh god,
no. This is the historic. Wait, my bad. Yes,
I knew
it. For some reason, I was thinking the other guy was.
This guy. Is he still claiming this is also historically accurate?
No, this is not. That has not come up.
Polygamy doesn't work, gang. It just doesn't, okay? Let it go.
No, it doesn't dwarf society, because then you can just hire somebody to kill if it's not working out.
Very healthy. Very healthy societal balance this guy's created for this just hellfire dwarf society that would have lasted 15 minutes. What's their view on cannibalism?
Very, very frowned upon.
Oh, okay. Little change up then.
Speaking of Dungeons and Dragons, when are we gonna get that campaign, guys?
I rely on the DM to be the guiding guiding force of that one. So,
moving on to a different character. Hiska, the lizard folk samurai, wants to find the relics of his clan that were stolen by raiders.
An admirable goal.
Sometimes you gotta let go, man.
Say a lot of relic, flimsy relic security. It's just how important were they really? If it's this easy to just have a game,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I should have
it
took
doesn't
better
help
care of it.
that prior to this, his entire clan was basically abducted by the raiders.
of course. Were these dwarven raiders? They had to be, right?
No, they were hobgoblins.
Oh God! Was it dwarves dressed up as hobgoblins? Are we sure it was hobgoblins?
Wait a second.
I think the dwarf society might be the root of all evil in this universe. And I may need you to weave your, tangled web to make that happen.
I am not going to have that happen.
Ah!
Sorry. I need to fix the stand for my camera. I'm trying to make sure Matimos is still in the shot. Moving on to the Null Necromancer, who is the witch class. Her goal is to become a lich.
You don't want to. Everything I know about liches, you don't want to do.
There actually are a variety of different liches you can become. Not all of them are automatically evil.
I have a hard time believing that.
There's a specific type of one called a Baelnorn Lich, which, instead of having a phylactery, they bind themselves to something they want to guard on the material plane, like a natural area. So, for her, it would be the lands of her clan, and...
How many relics were stolen?
None.
Alright. I'm really hoping one of these characters is a hobgoblin that has just a lot of relics to unload. Isn't quite
Raiders
sure
are
where
making out well.
quite sure where to get rid of them.
The reason this is her goal is because gnolls don't have a very long natural lifespan. Like, old age for them is 45. They don't really want to become immortal, they just want to live longer than what their race's natural lifespan is.
Okay, well...
She...
Maybe tell that person that character creation was the time to think about that.
If you guys are just going to keep making fun of all of my friends, I'm going to stop giving D&D updates.
Valid point.
No, I can't stop hearing about it. I have to keep hearing about it.
This is actually perfect, though, because now we have 5 minutes for questions. I
Yes,
don't know,
I'm
actually.
gonna check my email real quick.
How far did... Well... Oh, God. Okay, you guys check your email. How close did we actually get to finishing the update? 0?
Pretty much 0. I was just explaining the character motivations, not anything that actually gotten done. Dwarf Dad has gotten the first of his 7 or so spouses.
He hasn't undergone diversity training yet.
Diversity training is this Saturday. After the assassination attempt.
Just such a real...
Man, that is a busy Saturday.
I can work with it.
I was actually hoping that we would have, like... I imagine that Logan and Jake have not made it this far, but I was hoping one of them would be around so we'd have an actual question from chat, because that's so rare.
Yeah, I was also hoping one of the people I sent a link to would...
Come on, Cog Whistle!
Questions from the audience.
What's our... Man, we got a lot of bots in chat. I can't believe they're not good enough to ask us questions.
Yeah.
Well...
Bots, are they?
They're bots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What game? Jack Ball is actually here still.
Wait, hold on. How are there? What do you mean? Why are there bots?
They just.
We
That's
don't know
just a
that.
thing they do.
You're familiar with computers, right, Madamos? And like
Wait,
the internet,
is this
internet in
normal
general?
Yeah.
This is a bot that is just watching us random.
You're
Yeah.
familiar with iRobot, right?
And you guys
It's
showed
basically
them
that.
the graph? I feel like we're divulging a lot of... This is scary stuff.
Hey, the
Holy
machines
crap.
need to know. It's time to wake up.
What are
That's
they
a good
going to do?
question.
Why can't the bots ask us?
They're waiting for their moment to strike.
J Money,
Jay-
am I picking up a Thunderheader this weekend?
Oh, who's that?
What's a Thunderheader?
It's one of the bots. It's one of the bots.
It's one of the bots.
The god. Let me find that page. Pull this up.
So, I do actually have a question for you guys.
Ooh.
Just what games do we plan on playing between now and the next time we do a podcast?
Well, not Counterstrike on J Money's account.
What?
I need to do some more God of War, I think.
You also
Yeah.
need to do some more Undertale.
Oh god, I do.
I'm gonna do some more Divinity Original Sin with J Money. Make him read a bunch. We're not gonna get into a single battle. We're just gonna read the whole time.
Sounds like a perfectly good goal. I am either going to be continuing with Divinity Original Sin 2 or with Tales of Berseria,
Okay.
since it's been a while.
Is there any idea of when SM64 gets on the schedule?
Unfortunately, my next day off this week is Saturday, which is D&D Day. Give me one moment.
Should
Be
hijack.
careful with D&D Day. It sounds like
Tuesday. Tuesday will be the next Super Mario 64 day.
Excellent. I am excited.
And no idea when Ocarina of Time Day will be yet, because I have to finish Super Mario 64 first.
Okay. Yeah, and if I could, I'd like to play that alongside you if I can. But we'll try.
That's a big ask, but we'll do what we can.
I think this is perfect. We're actually approaching almost exactly an hour. So I'd like to end on the note we started with. The important communique we received from unnamed sources. A lot of good information here. And I want the entire chat to be able to appreciate it as we kind of
Yeah,
go.
there really wasn't anyone
away.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just really surprising stuff.
Indeed.
So,
May I say shocking?
and so while we get that graph up for J Money and Doc, Junkblade and Madamus, I'm Valen. I'd like to thank our special guests and whoever, anonymous benefactor, whoever sent us this just riveting data. Thank you.
Have a wonderful night, everyone.
And a Merry Christmas to all.
Until next time, everybody.